Welcome into a special edition of A to Z Sports. I'm Zach Bingham, alongside live from training camp. Or it's not even training camp. I guess maybe this is the last day of training camp officially.
Yeah, this is the last day that any media can watch the entire practice for the Titans for the rest of the year, and probably gonna be the last time I'm gonna be leaving that place behind me until like 2021.
Wow.
I've chalked up. This is the last time I'm going to be here for the rest of the season, probably.
Well, Austin Stanley, as you can see, he is live outside of St. Thomas Sports Park with a notable practice update. It sounds like, Austin. I'm as curious as I think everybody else is, and we got more people piling in, and more people will hear this training camp report because I don't know if it's good news. It's definitely some news that came from practice today.
Yeah, quite the day. A.J. Brown was limited, which seemed like a plan. He had missed the last two practices. He came out, did individual work, did warm-ups, and looked normal there. But then he did not participate in 7-on-7s and then jogged into the locker room on his own power. That seemed planned. We know the Titans like to do these planned maintenance periods. So A.J. Brown did not participate fully in practice. Then a couple guys had to have cart assistance to get in the locker room today during the middle of practice. First was Derek Roberson, outside linebacker, who I had some high hopes for in his second year. He was favoring his right leg, needed a cart to get inside, and then needed help to get carried completely into the locker room. And then shortly after that in practice, this is a big one. Right guard Nate Davis was favoring his left leg and needed a cart to help him get to the locker room as well. So that's all we have right now. So right leg favoring for Derek Roberson and a left leg favoring for guard Nate Davis. Questenberry, David Questenberry is who filled in at right guard after Nate Davis had to leave. So that's kind of what happened today. And then Christian Fulton and Darrington Evans, the second and third round pick, have now missed 7 consecutive days of practice. So I don't know exactly how ready they're going to be for week 1 in Denver. I don't know. Nobody really knows what the situation is with both of those guys, but 7 consecutive practices for Fulton and 7 straight for Darrington Evans as well. So pretty busy day when it came to the Titans practice in the negative category.
Yeah, busy in not a good way. I'll kind of have a follow-up question with the cart. I mean, was practice stopped when this cart came out? Was it during the drills? I mean, what was the temperature of the practice field? Because that needs to be painted a picture.
Yeah, sure.
We've watched a lot of practice in our day.
Right, and with training camp injuries and practice injuries, you can never assume. You don't have a replay to see what happened. Like, rarely did anybody or any reporter see the injury happen. Normally, we see a guy off to the side who's getting trainer assistance, and that's what catches our eyes. And with Derek Roberson, he was on a separate field from the majority of the media. The media was watching 7-on-7s, and Derek Roberson, the linebackers at D-line, were working in the opposite field. And so practice didn't stop for either Roberson or Nate Davis. It was more they were helped move to the sideline, and then training staff then came to assist them as they were able to take the cart to that big locker room media patio, where they had to get extra help to get inside the doors.
Reporting live after Titans practice, Austin Stanley right outside of St. Thomas Sports Park, as you can see. A follow-up before we talk about Ryan Tannehill on the two rookies.
Yeah.
How concerned are you with Darrington Evans and Christian Fulton, the second and third round pick, missing as much practice time as they have? And do you expect them not to be as a big impact at the beginning of the season because of that?
Well, it's interesting because Christian Fulton was brought in here to be a replacement for Logan Ryan to help play the nickel position. And they were giving Fulton a lot of work against Adam Humphries to help him get a crash course in playing nickel in the NFL. And I was talking to Teron Davenport and Corey Curtis towards the end of practice, and we were trying to play the game of who's playing nickel, right? If you had to play Denver right now, who's the third cornerback on the field, or do you use a Monty Hooker in that situation if Fulton can't go? And I feel like if I were Mike Vrabel, who I'm not, I would put a Dory Jackson in the nickel while Fulton is out, and then have Malcolm Butler and then either Ty Smith or Jonathan Joseph play the outside corner. But if you have a heavier tight end set, you could use Amani Hooker as that nickel as well and leave a Dory Jackson and Malcolm Butler on the outside. So I think Christian Fulton, I think it's a big deal because it's a second-round pick who you needed immediate impact for to replace a really good player in Logan Ryan from last year. As far as Darrington Evans, it's a weird thing because Derrick Henry typically has a light practice, and so he leaves, and then Darrington Evans hasn't been there either. So it's like Sonoris Perry or Kari Blasingame or Jeremy McWeapon, who's getting reps with the first team at running back. And so it's a weird situation. But Darrington Evans, I would feel more comfortable in Evans missing practice time and still having an impact earlier than Fulton missing practice time and being able to play.
Well, still going to be hard to live up to the poor man's Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
you got to practice. You got to practice.
That's true. That's true.
Shifting gears, let's talk about Ryan Tannehill. What did you see from Tannehill today with the offense? Tell me something good, and then tell me something that may have concerned you that you watched today.
Right. So with our rotating A to Z COVID credential, I had the opportunity to book in training camp. I saw the first one, and I saw the last one today. And the first one, Ryan Tannehill looked really sharp and looked really in control. And the last one today, he looked really sharp and really in control. The first training camp practice, Logan Woodside and Cole McDonald looked bad. And the last training camp practice, Cole McDonald's not here anymore, and Trevor Siemian and Logan Woodside looked bad. And so my thought, I literally tweeted this, you have to protect Ryan Tannehill at all costs because these backups I don't feel them getting more comfortable. I don't feel them getting any better. There was interceptions today for Logan Woodside. There was a very underthrown ball down the seam where Khalif Raymond looked to have a step, but it was so underthrown it allowed the DB, Kenneth Durden, I believe, to make a play on that football. Trevor Siemian just doesn't seem like he has the zip or the athletic ability to throw and play good quarterback right now. And so I think you have to protect Ryan Tannehill at all costs because without Ryan Tannehill, I don't know what this team's capable of doing because that's how drastic the play is from quarterback one to whoever is going to win the quarterback two job.
Yeah, Rob mentions on Periscope, not a lot of good news.
I'm sorry. This is so negative. I could also have negative things to say about Isaiah Wilson and how he's not really doing much better either. Because I'll say this. Dennis Kelly was not practicing today either. I don't know why. Maybe maintenance day, maybe not. But it wasn't Isaiah Wilson who got an opportunity with Dennis Kelly out. It was Ty Sambroyo. So Isaiah Wilson's got a long way to go. I don't think we're gonna see Isaiah Wilson starting for the first couple months of the season.
And that is what that is. Do you think? Right. And we've watched a lot of training camps, Austin. Do you think it's just training camp lag, training camp fatigue? This is the last day because they still have 2 weeks before the season. There's time to get geared up, but the training camp, not as much of a grind as years past. But do you think that could be something
with Isaiah Wilson?
Well, no, just the generalities of how poor of a report you're
well,
back.
I mean, maybe that's just me. Look, this is only the fourth day I've been out here, so it's not like I've been out here every day like we normally would be. But that's just what today was. Look, Nate Davis got hurt, Derek Roberson got hurt. Both had to have Carts help them off with lower body injuries. Hockey guy says, and so that's just how it is. I mean, Ryan Tannehill looks great. I can talk about Ryan Tannehill all day long. Khalif Raymond looks spunky and fiery. Jonnu Smith made a couple nice plays. Derrick Henry still looks like he's himself. There's some positive things, but the news today was very negative slanted for sure.
Yeah, and as Jamal mentions on Facebook, first, second, and third round picks not doing much of anything.
Do you want me to give you a couple good notes here as on the way out of this?
Please.
Because the first 9 minutes has been all negative. I apologize. It's not nothing against the Titans. I'll give you two little nuggets of offensive things. I think Kari Blasingame, and I was talking to Teron Davenport about this, I think Kari Blasingame is going to have a nice little role in this offense. I'm not saying he's going to get a lot of touches and they're not going to score a lot of touchdowns, but Kari Blasingame is going to be a fullback weapon that they're going to use here and there, kind of sprinkle them in a little bit. It's going to catch some defenses off guard that you're not going to expect. So I like Kari Blasingame.
Poor man C.J. Anderson or something?
Maybe. He's not as fat. Kari Blasingame's not fat like C.J. Anderson. All right, here's my second little nugget. Anthony Firser continues to make plays over the middle in the passing game, whether it's 7-on-7 or whether it's 11-11 team drills. 86 somehow finds ways to make catches, whether they're contested or open. So I'm curious to see how his progression continues to develop as he went from a training camp try-hard practice squad guy 2 years ago to last year consistently on the roster. What's year 3 look like for him? I think he's going to be around for a little bit. I think he'll be making some plays too. So those are my 2 little positive nuggets on the way out.
Yeah, so not all negative, but it's good information.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw it with your own 2 eyes from practice. And that's all we can do. That's why you tune in to A to Z Sports, because we're not here to sugarcoat anything, right? You're not here to say they had a great practice when they didn't. And when guys aren't out there, guys aren't out there. That's just
and
what
a lot
it
of
is.
guys and a lot of guys were not out there today. So just it's one of those, who knows if it's maintenance season or not. But a lot of guys did not necessarily practice today for whatever reason. But you did have the 2 guys, just to reiterate before we leave. Nate Davis favored his left leg, needed a cart to help him off the field. And then Derek Roberson was favoring his right leg, also needed a cart to help him off the practice field today too.
That is the report here live outside of St. Thomas Sports Park. Great job, Austin. I will see you tomorrow morning.
That's right. See you later.